This is Between the Breaks
Real talk, right between the breaks.
with Brooke Hunter and Kadie Daye.
Hello, Kadie.
Hello. We're back?
We're back. Okay, so my most dreaded time of the week
Okay.
is about 3 a.m. on Monday morning, right before my alarm goes off.
Okay. I was going to say, most people would love 3 a.m. because they're probably unconscious.
No, because I'm just getting ready to get up. And I dread my alarm going off so hardcore on Monday mornings that I typically wake up like 5 minutes before it goes off.
That's actually a skill. See,
You think?
Do you think if you didn't set an alarm, you would wake up naturally?
I would never trust myself to that.
But do you think you're pretty good at it?
I think I would get up, but I'm not going to guarantee I would get up. And if I woke up late, I would flip out. Because have you ever overslept for a morning show?
Yeah.
Me
I think
too.
twice. Because before my last morning show job that I had in New York, I previously worked nights, and I went from nights straight to mornings. I was like,
I did the
a wreck.
same. I went from 7 to midnight to a morning show.
Yeah.
And I think too, maybe I've overslept twice.
Yeah.
But after it just rattles you so bad.
It's the worst when you see the sun is shining and you're like, wait a minute.
Yep.
Oh, it should be
It's
dark
not
out.
Saturday.
That's the worst.
Hey, speaking of Saturday, you went somewhere this weekend.
I did. I drove to Indianapolis.
How far is that from here? Like 4 hours?
Well, it's 2.5.
Oh.
I thought it was 3.
Okay.
But I was pleasantly surprised.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
I went to visit my friend. She lives in Indianapolis. She was my college roommate. We're best friends.
Cool.
Apparently Sunday was National Best Friend Day, and we
It
hung out.
was,
So
yeah.
she texted me that, and I accidentally stole her bracelet. I feel bad. about that. But it's fine.
Well, hey,
I'll give it back.
you know how to address an envelope. You could always send it back.
I could send it back, but I'd be worried if it got lost in the mail.
True.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so you had a good time. You know what? You had a much more impressive weekend than I did. I did my laundry.
That's nice.
I bathed Lenny. He got his first bath, so he got like
Yay.
the shelter, like the,
Yeah.
off. And then I just napped. I don't know why. I was so tired all weekend long. All I wanted to do was nap.
Well, you got to think, you worked last weekend previously.
I did.
So you basically worked, like 12 days in a row?
Something like that.
So
yeah,
you
maybe I was
deserved
just spent. I was just done.
Yeah.
So, so I had a very uneventful weekend. I think this next weekend I'm going up to Geneva, Illinois to see my son.
Oh, nice.
Well, it'll be nice, but he and his girlfriend want to go out to lunch, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Are you paying?
I'm sure I will be.
Paying for the 3? Does she at least thank you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
that's good.
She's very, very sweet.
She's
very
a green
respectful.
flag.
But yeah, she's
Yeah.
a green flag. But no, I know I'll be footing the bill for that one. But you know what killed me last time I did that? So we went out to lunch. We went to California Pizza Kitchen, one of my favorite places. And all I wanted was the Thai chicken pizza, so I get that in a nice tea.
Yeah.
Not crazy expensive. They each got a pizza. Then they went and they ordered like these fancy schmancy cocktails that are like
What?
$15 a piece.
Did they ask beforehand?
No, they just did it.
Oh, I always ask my mom, I'm like, is it okay if I order
I
a
didn't even,
margarita?
it was like 12:30 on a Saturday or 1 o'clock. I didn't think they were going to get a cocktail. I know they only did it because they both just turned 21. They wanted to be able to show their ID.
Oh, yeah.
But I was like,
they get a pass, I
ouch.
think.
I know, but I hope they don't do it this time.
Maybe say, hey, just to
Lay off
let
the
you know,
booze.
maybe don't do that this time.
Yeah, I probably should.
Honestly, pop is getting expensive at restaurants. And
It is.
The profit margin for pop is insane, so they're
It's
already
crazy.
making so much. But I went to a breakfast place, which I won't say where, but somewhere in Chesterton, and the pop was over $3. And
Isn't that insane?
And it's like a cup that's 12 ounces, but it's filled with ice.
yeah,
so think
so
about
you're really
how much
not
that
getting
is.
much soda.
Right. Like if you
Yeah.
got a can, or a pack of 12, I looked it up with my dad, it's $6. So think about how much more pop you're getting at the store.
You're right.
Between the breaks.
Kadie, you told me that you have a story you want to share with me.
Yes. I was
Let's hear
up
it.
so late last night, like
Okay.
till 1 in the morning with my friend Christine.
You get up at like 3, don't you? I get up at 3.
Yeah. 3.
Okay.
About.
Wow.
So my friend Christine and I were talking, and we've been friends for a while now.
Okay.
So her sister is dating this guy, but it's not really official.
Okay.
His name's, I think I can say his name's Justin. I don't
Okay.
think he's listening.
Okay. I hope not.
I hope not.
All right.
But Christine thinks that her sister's boyfriend / guy she's with has a lot more to his story. She can't quite put her finger on it. And so she was telling me these things, and I started investigating, like, you know, the human detective you become.
I love doing that. Okay.
I start doing some digging on this guy, Justin.
All right.
And I'm like, do you even know his last name? Christine goes, no.
How do you go out with someone and not know their last name?
Right. So
where do they meet? Wait, back up. Where do they meet?
Tinder.
Oh, okay. All right. That says a lot. All right. Keep going.
So they've been going out for a while now.
Okay.
Like, I would say at least 3 to 4 weeks.
All
so
right.
enough time that you should know their
You
last
should
name.
know the last name of, yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
Christine's like, I don't know, and I don't think my sister knows either. He just goes by Justin. Mm-hmm. So I said,
like Prince. It's just Justin.
Right. I was like, what all do you know about him? Well, so Christine secretly gets the phone number of Justin. I put it in the reverse phone lookup.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
I find Justin's last name. I find Justin's address. I find out he lived in Connecticut for a little bit. Apparently, there's possible marriage records for Justin. Yes.
I was going to ask if he had a criminal record.
So we don't know what's going on with Justin, but in order to get the rest of the information, I have to pay the $1.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't want there to be a paper trail to my name.
I don't blame you.
Or to Christine's name, because we don't want Justin to find out that the sister's mad that they're together. Yeah.
So, okay, wait. You have some basic information here.
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Okay.
Do you have any friend who's in law enforcement?
Yeah, I do, actually.
That's where you go.
Can they do that? I feel like that might be abuse of power.
It might be a little bit, but they can do it.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
know. I mean, well, because then you could find out if he was married. You could also find out if he has a criminal record, because I don't know, for some reason that's sticking in my head right now.
I think that could also be the case.
Well,
Because
I mean, he's not very forthcoming with information.
You cannot find him anywhere online.
See?
So Christine was telling me all this, and I said, yeah, something's up. I don't know what it is, but when I saw possible marriage records, and normally that only pops up if they were
Yeah.
previously married.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to go buy a Visa gift card today.
Okay.
With cash.
So you can pay the $1.
Yeah, so that it doesn't tie back to me.
Visa gift card. That's awesome.
the
I
plan.
love it. I pride myself in kind of being like an amateur detective. I
Same.
love doing that kind of stuff.
I think it's in a woman's nature.
Absolutely, it is.
Definitely. You get a gut feeling.
So back when I was much younger, and I was dating this guy, I used to because I didn't trust him. So I would drive by his house, kind of like, do you ever see Pretty in Pink where Ducky is riding the bike outside of the girl's house because he's got a big crush on her?
Yeah.
It's like I would do drive-bys to this guy's house because I was convinced he was cheating on me. And you know what? He was.
Hey, when you have that feeling,
Yeah.
you're usually right.
Because some people are like, oh, you're psycho. I'm like, you call me psycho now. But when I come up with the evidence that I think I'm going to find, then you're not going to call me psycho anymore.
Nothing doubts a woman's intuition. We know.
Between the breaks.
Gotta ask Kadie, because yesterday you were doing a whole bunch of investigating.
Yeah.
About this guy.
Right.
So, anything new?
Okay, so we looked up stuff about Justin, and I got my friend involved who's a police officer.
Good work.
And he said there's a lot of databases that people can access but they don't know about, so he kind of helped guide me to that so that it's legal and he's not abusing
not
the
doing
system.
it on the job. kind of thing,
Right.
Yeah.
And he found out that I guess there were some things that came up as an associated alias for Justin.
Okay.
That I thought attached to criminal records, of course.
Yeah. I mean, why would you have an alias?
Right. Turns out it's not the same guy because there's a different tattoo placement.
Okay.
So right now he's looking innocent, so we'll see.
Okay, so you have your police officer friend involved. Did it kind of spark his curiosity too?
Yeah, my friend was like, "You're actually pretty good at this."
See?
And I said, "See, I actually knew that his mom was named this and that his family owned this place." So
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, well, so you have more investigating to do, but we'll come back and revisit this because I have no doubt you're going to find out more stuff.
Oh yeah, and once I'm in something, I'm in something.
I don't have anything nearly as exciting. So when I left my house this morning, so I have this new dog, right, Lenny?
Yeah.
Poor little dude clearly has separation anxiety issues. Anytime I leave, he starts to howl. So I had my windows open last night because it was nice. And I leave and I say goodbye to both boys, Freddie and Lenny. I say, I'll be back in a little while. I got to go to work. And I walk down my steps and not even a minute after I walked out the door. Oh, and he's a little guy. He's like 5 pounds. His howl is loud.
Yeah.
So
small but mighty.
Yeah, I don't know what my neighbors are going to think about that.
Well, have you seen these pillows that you can put people on? You print yourself on a pillow. Some people have been doing it and putting it in their dog's bed.
No.
You should do it. And then he'll look at you.
Okay, because I have the past couple of mornings, I've left the TV on because at least someone's talking. I mean, and it's not me, but there's still someone talking. So I thought maybe that would help. I don't think that helped.
Yeah, well, he needs to be friends with Freddie.
Well, they're slowly. I mean,
Okay.
It was a week yesterday
That's actually crazy. It's flown.
I brought Lenny home. So
Yeah.
he's only been in my place for a week. You know, he's still unsure. I mean, it's so funny because I look at Freddie and Freddie's just like, hey, whatever. You know, he's just like this carefree little puppy. And then I look at poor little Lenny and I just see this look of like fear in his eyes. Like, am I going to go somewhere else? You know?
Yeah.
And you can't communicate. I mean, I would love to be able to, like, for 5 minutes, be able to communicate with him and have him understand what I'm saying, to let him know you're not going anywhere.
Right.
Like, you might get bored sometimes, but you're not going anywhere. This is home. Well, I'm going to move this summer, but, you know, we're all going together.
Right.
And you're never, ever going to be alone. I mean, sometimes, yes, I do have to leave the house, but you'll always have your brother Freddie.
Yeah.
Always, you know?
Yeah, and
So-
I think that's common with like dogs that are adopted from like a shelter or a rescue.
And I get that.
There's
I get
a
it.
video that went viral recently of someone who adopted, similar to you, a rescue, and the way that they would shake and have separation anxiety. The other dog ended up being the one that became the calming force in that.
Well, and that's kind of, you know, I kind of hope that's what happens.
Yeah, I think
with
it will.
Freddie and Lenny, you know, and like I said, they're still getting to know each other. And Freddie he's still young. He's not even a year old yet, and he's up in Lenny's face, and Lenny's just kind of like back off, you know. But I think eventually it'll all be good. I mean, they're showing a little bit of progress each day, so I think they'll be all right. So
Do you think dogs make small talk like people do? Like, oh, we're stuck in the elevator. How's the weather outside?
I don't know.
I wonder
Good
what they talk
question.
about.
I have no idea. But I'm going to go home and spend the day with the boys.
Between the breaks.
Hello, Kadie.
Hello.
What's going on?
Not much.
No?
No, Friday Eve around here.
You know, I did mention that today, but I also mentioned the fact that I feel like Thursdays are a waste.
I know, you always say that.
I know, I can't help it.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's going on today. It's got to be something in the air because I don't have a cold, but I have had like these sneezing fits all morning long and like my nose itches.
Well, they say the tree pollen count is higher than usual today.
That has got to be what it is. But you know what was really nice? And I'm sure you experienced this too, leaving the house really early this morning. It was already like 70 degrees.
Yeah. I know. And I usually get thrown for a loop because since we work so early, usually,
It's usually cold.
I wear pants, sweatshirt, and
Yeah.
I'll wear like shorts underneath and a tank top underneath
so
just
you
in case.
can change or
Yeah.
yeah, I get that.
This morning I was confused because I walked out in my sweatshirt and sweatpants.
And you're like, it's kind of warm.
Yeah, I was like, maybe I don't need this. But then
Yeah.
you get in the studio and it's freezing.
See, you know what? This studio's not cold, is it?
I guess not.
Because
I feel warm right now.
I've found that a lot of the studios feel like meat lockers. They're just too cold.
Meat lockers?
Meat
You say
lockers.
that like you've been in one.
No, I haven't. But
that's good.
It's an analogy for like a cold place because, you know, they keep meat super cold. Anyway, I will show you where you can find something to put over the vent when you're on the air so that you won't be cold.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. My previous job that I worked at, the temperature was taken very seriously. They actually had a lock on the thermostat.
Does that drive you crazy?
Yeah, and it works. The temperature that thermostat was the temperature of the whole building.
No, not cool.
Not cool at all.
Not cool. But the reason that I did this to this studio with the vent is because there's no thermostat in here.
Oh, that's nice.
So whatever somebody sets somewhere else, this studio will be. And there were a couple of mornings where I'm like, oh my God, it's cold. So yes, I found something. There is a thermostat in some of the studios, but not in this one. So I had to take it upon myself to make it a little bit warmer.
Well, that kind of makes it easier, though. You don't have to fight the thermostat.
That's true. Yeah, because there are thermostat wars,
Yeah, there are.
you know, big time, not just in businesses, but in homes.
Oh, yeah, you subtly turn it up and you're like, why is it so warm? And why is it so cold?
I used to date this guy, and he loves, like, even in the wintertime, he wanted the air on like 60.
60?
Like, dude. Yeah, I was cold. I was always in like at least one sweatshirt, maybe a fleece over it. because he always was warm and he always wanted things to be super, super cold. So he's the kind of guy that I have no doubt, his house is at like a balmy 60 degrees, which I can't do. I mean, even at home when I have the air on, I'm fine with the air at like 73, 74. Mm-hmm. It cuts the humidity out. But you're not freezing. Like, I don't want to be running around in the summertime having to wear sweatshirts all the time.
I feel like 71 is like the perfect temperature for my house.
71's not bad.
But hopefully you didn't live with this guy if you guys had temperature issues.
No. We didn't live together, but we did a lot of traveling.
Oh, yeah.
And so he would usually arrive at a hotel before I would. And temperature was like freezing.
Yeah, that's the worst.
And you can't do this to me.
The hotel temperatures, like, it's sometimes hard to figure it out because they're not all created equal in every hotel room.
They're not.
So you have to find it first. But I lived with somebody that they would always try to touch the thermostat and make it like their own temperature, and they would always have it low too. And I'm like, I'm the one paying the electric and the gas bill.
Oh, yeah, see,
Could you stop?
That's even more uncool than just turning it, super low.
No, it was very cool. That was a problem.
Well, yes. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. But
Between the breaks.
Kadie.
Happy Friday the 13th. Shh. Oh, not the shushing.
You know what? I only say that because I don't know why. Nothing bad has ever happened to me on Friday the 13th that I can recall. I think I would remember if it did, because then I would dislike the day more. But I am not a fan of Friday the 13th. So when I'm done here with work, I'm going to go home and lay low all day, because nothing really that bad could happen to me at home, right? Well, I mean, I guess it could.
I mean,
I'm not out driving.
Yeah. Did you see that viral video, though, of the ceiling that collapsed on the guy who was watching TV and took a nap?
No.
He woke up to his ceiling on him. So who knows what could happen.
Right now, the apartment above me is currently vacant. So there's nobody up there. Because, I mean, if that happens, I think of like maybe a bathtub that overflows and gets super heavy.
That would hurt so bad.
You'd probably die.
Yeah. I mean, this guy was fine. It was just like the ceiling tile fell and collapsed.
Oh, a tile, not like the ceiling collapsed.
A few tiles of the ceiling collapsed.
That would still suck.
Yeah. Expensive.
So I'm so weird about the number 13. I don't use it. Like,
you don't use it?
I don't use it. So,
what do you mean?
Okay, so let's say I'm watching TV.
Okay.
And I'm turning up the volume. It will never be on 13. Or in my car, if I turn up the radio volume in my car, it will never be on. I mean, that's super loud in a car anyway, but it would never be on 13. I used to live in an apartment building in Chicago that did not have a 13th floor.
Oh, that's interesting.
It went from 12 to 14. And when I noticed that, whenever I would go into, whether it was an office building or an apartment building, and I was in the elevator, I would look to see if there was a 13. And most of the time there was, but in some of the older buildings, they left out the 13 button on the elevator.
They're kind of enforcing the stigma then.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
And I think it was mostly in older buildings,
right?
If I recall. And it wasn't a lot, but when they didn't have one, I was like, ha, see? Yeah. I'm not the only one.
I don't know. I kind of seek out things that are spooky. Like, I remember one Friday the 13th in college, my friend Riley and I, we went to a haunted house, walked under a ladder to get into that haunted house.
Oh, see, I wouldn't walk under the ladder. I like haunted houses.
A black cat crossed our path after that.
Doesn't bother me.
Through a McDonald's parking lot.
Okay.
And then nothing was happened, but I felt like I was living life on the edge. Like, it just felt like I was more alive, you know?
Taking chances and risks.
One time I took a job, I think it was like my third job ever, at this really deteriorated from the outside in dollar store.
Okay.
And because I just thought it was sketchy. I just
wanted to work there?
I just wanted to feel the adrenaline of, you know.
So weird.
Am I going to survive here?
When my son was little, I mean, ever since I can remember, even when he was like little and should not have been watching horror movies, he's always loved horror movies. And when he was in like grade school and it was a Friday the 13th, it was, Mom, can we like order a pizza and watch Friday the 13th movies? I was like, all right. But see, now a movie like Friday the 13th, a slasher movie, that doesn't bother me. The movies that creep me out are the psychological thrillers.
Yes, that feel real.
Have you ever seen the movie It?
Yes.
Okay, no. I'm sorry.
With Pennywise, right?
It wasn't, yeah, no, I saw that. That didn't bother me. That's not the one I was thinking of. Smile.
Smile, yes.
Okay.
That is my boyfriend's favorite movie.
That
He's crazy.
Movie
he watches it so many times.
That's insane. And see, there's some, because that's psychological. I mean, unless there's gore in it, but it all starts off psychological.
Yeah.
And that movie just scared the bejesus out of me, man. And I was with a friend. He didn't know what the movie was. He's like, oh, let's just see what this is.
Smile, sounds happy.
I had my dog Pearl at the time. I think I was squeezing her so hard that she finally was like, Mom, get away from me. Because and I don't usually get like that over movies, but that movie did it.
Well, Smile actually is a really good film because it makes you feel like you're going crazy as you watch the characters go crazy in the movie. Yeah.
Those movies bother me a lot more than like a Freddy Krueger jumping out with his knife hands. Like that doesn't. And Friday the 13th, I'm fine with that. And if you watch one Friday the 13th, they're all the same.
Well,
you know,
are they though?
Well, they
you don't
are.
Know until you watch
Different group of kids doing the same things. You know, going off together and getting nasty, and then all of a sudden Jason shows up. You know, so Anyway, I'm superstitious. I just can't help it. You, being Friday the 13th, you go out and take some risks.
I do. I mean, you never know what you're going to get. Today, though, I think they do Friday the 13th tattoo deals, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know.
So I don't know. Maybe today's the risk. I go to a tattoo shop. Though I don't think if my dad found out that I just said that, he would be like, for Father's Day, I would like you to not go to the tattoo.
Oh, you don't have any tattoos?
No. I'm unmarked currently.
I wish I was unmarked. I have a really, really big one on my back, and I never wanted to show it to my dad. And one day I was with him. He was in my car. I was driving. I leaned over.
No.
And he was joking, but he looks at me. He goes, "Remind me when we get home to spank you." And I'm like,
my
"What?"
goodness.
He goes, "I saw your back."
And how long did you have it before then?
Oh, probably a couple years.
Yeah, so you completely forgot it was there.
Yeah, I was being sloppy. You know,
whoa.
I should have been more prepared, but I wasn't. So, yes, it is Friday the 13th, but Sunday's Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to all the dads.
Happy Father's Day.
This is Between the Breaks
Real talk, right between the breaks.
with Brooke Hunter and Kadie Daye.